turning those rotations, turning those kills into hill time to make sure that that clock at the top of your screen doesn't run too far down. It's possible for red card. It always comes down to the wire. But for these two teams, I'm sure they're looking to make it a little bit more comfortable than what we've seen in the past.
My favorite side of the map, at least starting off, would be Eglin, but nobody was watching the ticket push, and it's the only kill that Offutt's going to be able to have for themselves. Again, keeping things contested early days here for P1, but you're watching it from Eglin's perspective. They have a really good spread across the map. Now they're aware of ticket. They got globe control. A very good opening of the map.
An opening for Eglin Air Force Base that they can really look to seize on this rotation over towards New. Obviously, still, we do have a missing minimap. Sorry, folks, it's not our fault. It is the Codcaster's fault. Hopefully, with the patch later on, it's going to bring it back, but that's a whole nother topic to deal with when we get there. Offutt, they need something to turn around now on this rotation, and I like this play towards the stage. Shaky's going to try to get some positioning to see if he can work a rotation, and he goes down, but look at this from Trippin' Burrito. He had a chance. It doesn't work out, but it does flip the spawns for Eglin.
That sure does. Charms having himself a whale of a time so far. He was hot off of a 4-0 start. He dies. Now he's up to another 3-0 start. The 7-1 is the quick maths coming through so far, and well, Eglin just really trying to set the pace, but Offutt are playing the long con game. Somebody spawned all the way in for P2 while P1 was still active, and they've been able to anchor out the spawns, play the trade game, reinforcements that much closer. We're down to scrap time, and Eglin need to make a decision off of their very wayward spawns. Do we want to try to contest it? Seems that's the case.
Yeah, but now you have to think about flooding on through, and Eglin, they are focusing on this rotation to P3. 10 seconds left. You have Hedges control, and this is a bad guy that you want to get past. I actually respect this call from Charms to back on down from Hedges. He knows there's a lot of oncoming traffic, so you want to filter these fights into some isolated one-on-ones, but Waz, he makes the play, goes over the top, and takes down Charms. Lots of pressure onto this rotation for Trippin' Burrito to perform. Shaky goes down as well, and Offutt are looking for the break.
And it was actually a really clinical break coming through from Offutt. Just really good teamwork being exemplified there, both in between Splurging and Waz from the globe control. Just keeping the raid boss of Charms at bay. Here comes the break attempt, though. Offutt spawning in towards the back. There's 30 seconds left to play for it. And Eglin, they do well to be able to soak up the rest of this. They found the opening 3 flux there for the only trade. The spawns will be immediately broken afterwards.
Yeah, good utility from Eglin to break that up. One to worry about at the back, but it's a pinch play ultimately. You just have to find the kills now. Floki, Charms, they're going to make it difficult. Trippin' Burrito outside. They line up 4 down. 10 seconds left at old. We're looking at the rotation.
Yep, starting to make that rotation. Charms up to 11 and 4. Combined 16 and 10 between Floki and Shaky. Trippin' Burrito, he's going to be the route man, trying to at least tip of the spear. He gets scouted out by Flux. One less member on this rotation, essentially a 2v3 now for the members of Eglin that are already over here, but they're going to spread our Offutt. 2 more kills get traded off in the kill feed. Eglin starting to work the rotation. They got numbers over by Stage Colin. Somehow, some way, they were able to win this rotation. A lack of the numbers. Waz having a very bad start to this hardpoint Colin. 3 and 10 is not what we got out of him yesterday.
No, it's not at all, and that needs to change. Splurging, it's either the longest flank play I could see in a hill like P4, or he thought that P5 was the next hardpoint that we were going to. And the way that things were going, still a contest on top as it's some good kills coming through from Waz, but they got to take this player out from below this stage. Nice shots on the Charge, looking for a little bit more, but Shaky has been stepping up so far in the map number 1, 12 and 7, and looking towards New for the big fight, and the chase pistols out, and Arrow Opera gets hunted.
I mean, it's crazy, isn't it? Like, you look from top to bottom as far as the scoreboard is concerned. It's like, we've had this conversation throughout the entirety of this tournament. Like, you got 28 kills between Charms and Shaky, and although, like, Shaky is starting to pop off between that rotation to where we are right now, if they lose this rotation, you would think that this would be a landslide as far as the scoreboard is concerned. That is not the case. Offutt still playing really good posturing as far as red card is concerned. This is where it will benefit just the better macro game. Tough head glitch to fight against Trippin' Burrito showing that. Wonderfully played. 3 in the feed for Eglin. A rapid break, but still time going over towards Offutt. Eglin looking to soak up the back 30.
Yeah, still Eglin in the lead, though. Charms holding middle ticket. Nice shots on the second one. Flux, Appa make it in 2 versus 2 for the hill time. Splurging, try to get there in to help, but 4 go down. Appa pops off 3 in a row for himself. 15 seconds at old. That's looking to be a tie game heading into the second set.
Yeah. Be so. Again, just insanity incarnate. Like, this is the personification of how there are so many kills on the map, but how it's not always indicative to the scoreboard. There have been a lot of useless kills as far as Eglin is concerned. Like, their breaks have been rapid, but the holds soon after have been rebroken. It's insane to be able to look at the scoreboard and say that it's a 2-second lead for Offutt. It's not much, but they are still sitting here fighting. You have to imagine that once Waz and Splurging really start to pick up the pace to join both Appa and Flux, who are having a really good pickup. Charms, though, puts him in the dirt, looking for 5. He plays for the regen first, but still, you would imagine once Splurging and Waz pick up the pace a little bit, Colin, this might just completely get out of Eglin's grasp.
I agree. I think that Offutt, they're just waiting for their superstars to come alive. Eglin, can they take this opportunity to start to pull away? Charm's still alive, still reaping. 5 in a row. Look for number 6. There it is. Close to the Hellstorm, but not as close as you would imagine with a 6 spree. So chance still for Offutt to shut down this streak and deny a key tool from Eglin to push this even deeper. Shaky going to keep you inside that hard point for the last couple seconds. Spawn's starting to flip out, so Offutt have a ton of pressure on this rotation over towards P2. It's splurging all the way into the top windows, and he is losing every single teammate that he needs to help him assist on this one. Big win onto Shaky. Almost gets turned on, but it's 3 down on the feed.
And this is where things started to get a little bit too far gone for Eglin, but actually gets some rogue spawn. Splurging reads it, but Shaky wins the gunfight. So it's split spawns now. Offutt have to keep their heads on a swivel. Eglin, they have the numbers around the hard point. They isolate Appa, but again, Waz, Flux, they show up in the kill feed, man. They're going to be able to flip this? No way.
The efficiency from Offutt that I've been enjoying. Every single kill turns into time gain. Splurging, he's been good for that for 50 seconds, but it's Flux alongside him, just keeping their toes in the water. Splurging on the outside, tagged up, takes the challenge, ends up falling. With only 12 seconds, this is a great call from Flux to hit the wrap.
That sure is. Need to try to get her out because you don't want to get spawn trapped here. Get stuff out of Eglin to be able to reposture themselves to keep them trapped there for the next wave of gunfights and make this a very difficult task. There's a one rogue player that made their way all the way to the bottom side of the parking garage. You saw that, right? Waz is going to take down Floki, and there comes the full-on flank. It was Flux down low. He finds the kill. Those will flip the spawns indefinitely. And a big moment now for Offutt as they send Eglin packing. No, they spawn in towards the back. Good read.
Waz, good nade outside. 3 in a row. Is this the time that we see Waz start to turn up? Not going to read the last player. Goes back in for the challenge. Floki barely sneaking away with that headshot. Appa, it's turn to fill this outside lane, and Charms is going to be able to trade him out. Pinch onto the point. Flux still gets his. It's a 1 versus 1, but Shaky converts for the break and holding this lead for Eglin as much as he can. Trippin' Burrito right there to assist.
Splurging has to dive away, keep himself alive. Semtex kept him honest. Eglin still have the back spawns. Charms 29 and 14, 22 and 17 from Shaky. This is insane. Offutt keeping themselves in this game. Splurging's really turning things around. He's almost has a minute of OBJ time, and he's 15 and 17, 21 and 19 out of Flux. That flank was everything. They're going to be the first ones here are Offutt for P4.
2 go down for this rotation. This might actually be the best setup that we've seen from Offutt for quite a while, considering, but you have to win the next fights, and with the ARs of Eglin, they just have not backed down from a challenge. Floki on the flank, not going to expect this one. Appa gets the turn, but the break still happens. A small lead for Offutt, but it's immediately going to flip back to Eglin.
Now Floki is chattering in the comms. Look at the player cam. He's immediately just responding, trying to keep everybody in the comms, trying to keep everybody alive to knowing where the spawns are going to be coming from. They're spawning back P2 or Eglin. Blow control, taken away from Splurging. Flux somehow gets all the way towards the top side of the stage. He can keep this thing contested.
Yeah, he just needs to stay alive here. That's all you have to do. Allow for the rest of the team to be able to rotate freely. In the last 5 seconds, nobody's going to be over towards the P5 just yet. Fights through the middle of the map. So crucial in this transition. Charms is going to be looking to do some damage, but he's not able to find anything. 2 versus 2 over towards Old. Shaky and Trippin' Burrito are going to be there, and it looks like Charms gets the close spawn, so it's numbers for Eglin at the new hill. While they get the initial time, Offutt are still putting up the fight.
Oh, Floki needed that second. Flux had 2 HP. How is he alive? Trophy system's going to keep him there for a good while. 35 seconds. Eglin got garage spawns as well. They're very far away from this gunfight. Charms finds the opener.
It's only a 10-second game. That's crazy to say. Flux has so much to do in this position, but most importantly, he just has to stay alive and hope the rest of his team is assisting in the damage. Flux on 3 in a row. How much more can you find over the top? Flux, no, almost finds a second one. Shaky goes down, but it's Waz is the next one. He's looking to the respawns. We gotta go to new.
Gotta rotate. Oh, Shaky gets those press box spawns. He's gonna set up a little bit of a pinch going back towards the center of the map. Everybody from Offutt are trapped inside of Ticket. Shaky has so much to clear. Door closed. Is he going to expect the player in the corner? Answer no. Splurging Flux there for the first 2.
3 go down. Offutt have completely turned this one around in terms of the pressure
insane.
that they're putting on. This is what we were talking about, Andy. As soon as your superstars start to cook, this is the scary moment for Eglin. They just haven't created enough of a break for themselves to feel comfortable, and you can see that the panic is ensuing.
Not even like a superstar moment for Offutt. It's just Eglin are just absolutely fumbling the bag off of all of these kills. Like, Charms is 41 and 22. This game should not be as close as it currently is. 212 to 211. Split spawns coming through from Eglin. Again, Floki there for 2. Now up to 24 and 20. But Appa, he's having himself a great game comparatively to what we saw in the respawns yesterday. Is it enough? No. 12 seconds left to fight over here. Eglin are going to flip the lead, and they're going to get the read that Offutt are still spawning back P3. This is a good moment to have for themselves. They've never been able to anchor P2 spawns, have Eglin this entire game so far. There's no reason why they shouldn't be able to do it this time around. Are they going to expect Appa? He's lurking bottom stage.
Well, they do. Charms, he is still cooking.
Oh my.
What a challenge coming out from Flux. Back over towards H1. You know, Charms is over towards the stage. He's just making himself known, and Flux gets a little bit too aggro. Still a lead for Eglin. They have the spawn trap pseudo pushed in. Offutt have to be careful for their next moves, and you can see that the patience to get back into this hill, they're reading it perfectly.
Yeah, they sure are. Waz going to be right there to clean up the back goal. Appa's going to start taking that space. Here comes the next challenge right off its course. It's going to be Charms, but he can only find one. Still plenty of time to close things out and towards the back. Spawns may be coming in towards the back as well. I think that was just a press box flank, and it gets read ever so wonderfully. Offutt looking to close things out here.
Offutt are walking away for the end game of this. Still 10 seconds. You can win off this, and with Flux shooting like that, you might as well. 5 seconds left. Over to new. All the blue X-rays are going to be there, and it is a race to see if you can get there in time. Onto the hard point is Offutt. Is anybody going to be able to touch 2 more seconds? And no, Offutt from the depths of hell. They resiliently show a fight through the red card, and Eglin, they are going to be feeling that one.
There's just no reason whatsoever that Eglin should have lost that map. The biggest reason whatsoever is because of Offutt's macro. Just, it is never chalk. Word to the major. Absolutely insane, man. They kept themselves going throughout all of the spawns. And again, I just think that Eglin, they were just overextending themselves. It's red card hard playing. And those spawns can get away from you so quickly. And once you have those spawns, the way that Offutt were playing, which we got to see all day yesterday, and I think most excruciating as far as their opening round is concerned, knowing that cannon looms in the distance.
This is definitely one of those maps or one of those series where you've seen a lot of teams take advantage of the S&Ds in prolonging this series. We've seen it against Buckley. We've seen it against Cannon. So can Eglin or Offutt show up to show their prowess in this game mode? When we get an offensive attack over towards A for Offutt, they got the bomb planted, post-plant inbound.
Now for player number 8, Trippin' Burrito is going to have a big 1v1 versus player number 4 of Appa. They might not actually read him. He's in the backside of 10, but yeah, there it is. 2 players strong. Should be an easy retake, but the defense is mostly set up on the other side of well. They got to clear out Flux. He's in the clutch spot.
And Charms hasn't been able to see anybody. That is a good shoulder check from Flux. He's going to reposition, but the communication is Waz to back him up 2v2. 15 seconds. Eglin have to make a move, and this rotation coming out from Offutt, it is brilliant. They're going to go all the way back around, and the bomb is planted for Waz to up top. There's no time. Splurging gets the kill nonetheless. Offutt, they stand tall.
Yep. Going to be able to make that execute happen. Lickety split. Again, very quick to be able to get the bomb planted all off of the space provided for themselves. There's just a lot of utility that wasn't thrown over on this side of the map, Colin, and it's a great first round read coming through from Offutt, catching Eglin by surprise over by the hedges push. Able to get that that bump. I think Waz being the player that stands all the way back, just watching the P1 cross, or anybody to go through the open hallways, then bump off of Flux's death. It's brilliant. I have to see what Eglin's opening offense is going to be. It's going to be a blitz over towards B. I have to watch out for this opening engagement. Flux splurging, have a lot to do.
Only first blood for Waz, just looking for 2. Not going to happen. It's an answer back from Eglin, but still a 2v2 when the dust settles. Appa not going to let down on the gas pedal, and things are falling apart for Eglin in this second round. Offutt just haven't let go of that pacing for the hard points, but Han's planted, and Shaky's going to have an advantage for the fight. What a shot, and look at him pop off of the cams.
Well, that's not an easy shot to hit, and an egregious gunfight to try to stay in once you do end up getting that headshot. I mean, as good as the head glitch is, Appa kind of overextends just a little bit, but those were all headshots right there. Beautiful sound design here in Black Ops 6, let me tell you. But still, wow. The fact that Shaky was, 1, not a part of that play, and 2, gets 3 in the round in the 1v2 clutch. A lot of question marks. So we'll see what we can learn off of that, I suppose, for both of these two teams. See what Eglin can do now off of what Offutt offered in their opening offense. And they're not really backing down. They're still throwing a lot of utility through the middle of the map. Offutt still want this A-bomb.
Anything good for the opening first bloods? That's not going to stop Flux. Good help. And the bait that splurging was giving. It opens up the map a little bit more, but everybody from Eglin picking a corner.
They're going to try to pivot this over towards B. Charms reads this incorrectly, but his timing... Oh, no, he's actually down low inside a U-turn, excuse me. If he was up top, he would have gotten really good timing maybe onto one player crossing over inside P1, but instead they get back behind Office. Charms has to be communicating this. Yeah, Floki now has to hold this top plat position. Gives it up. Oh, they don't know what's happening inside this office, man. It's a party.
I have no idea, but Floki's still in a good spot to at least not allow a flank to come through. Just spot him on the staircase, and that's best case scenario. 3 versus 3. Not going to be able to hold that advantage for too long as the bomb's getting planted at A.
Yeah, not fully communicating. Charms wanted to flip out the entirety of the map. Floki stuck in the clutch without possibly being aware of it. So a lot of isolated plays coming through from the last 2 players of Eglin.
Charms needs to read this on the left. He's going to check it. Sees the feet and slides into the DMs. 2 versus 2. 27 seconds. Charms looking for a little bit more, and the read is exceptional. 1 versus 2 for Flux. He's going to have the rotation back over to Patio, and this is going to be enough to catch them off guard.
A little pop off there from Flux as well. Yeah, wonderfully played there in the end, out from Offutt. He was all the way up top. The nade was there. It didn't connect from Charms. I might have been expecting for the reach out to come through because at the end of the day, like, the bomb was planted not only just for the clutch spot there for U-turn to be peaked, but also for the Mercury spot. And I think that's one of 2 different evils that they weren't really prepared for. A nade goes over the top. I watch one angle. You lay down. You watch my 6. Wonderfully done by Offutt, but poorly executed out of Eglin. Offutt take a 1-round lead.
.3-0 in the first blood column. Offutt looking for number 4 as Appa's going to play his life back up, and Splurging's going to... Oh, I thought he was going to take the advantage off that, but Floki turns it. Flux still trades.
Yep, still does. Now I kind of turn it up here over by the open hallway, just above secret. They're expecting for somebody to chow from open door, and they'd be right. Flux might just give it to them. All off of the previous round. He's on 4 straight. He wants to keep this streak going, but instead he just gives a very easy kill away to Shaky. So no streak. 1v3 now for Wazd. A-bomb's going to be planted here, and I don't know how you're supposed to play this one. This might just be GG's go next.
If Waz makes this happen, what a round it would be, but look how separated the minimap is from all 3 of these members, and with an AR, it's not going to be easy to take these players out from the back fences, but the timing, like you said, it's going to be good to at least strike for the first one. That's going to move the attention from Eglin to really back down. All Shaky has to do is throw a shoulder, and Charms is going to feed off of that information. Down to 12 seconds, Charms still waiting to make a play, and the play is going to come to him.
And maybe a Ninja Turtle, but that would have been something exceptional. That was also up there for top 3 ragdolls of the weekend, by the way. Just Donatello just, like, ragdoll sliding all the way down the railing. Like, he forgot his skateboard and just tried to hit a 50-50 grind and just forgot about it. Watch this. It's gonna, tough scenes. Hate to see that happen to a Ninja Turtle. But again, wonderful pit out there from Eglin, just being able to exert their numbers very, very quickly. Very unfortunate, though, out of Flux. I mean, off of that first blood, he threw out the shoulder, but not the smartest decision just to wrap back through P1. Shaky found that kill and inevitably gave him the numbers. Not a whole lot to offer up there as we tie ourselves up into round number 5, and we're blitzing through mid. Oh, we're blitzing fast.
Blitzing so fast, and still trades come through. Shaky can stay alive. Wasp, oh, he gets beamed. Shaky's holding his own. Not going to expect the second, so the trade fest still continues. Floki's going to get sidelined, and it's all down to Trippin.
He's got a good prediction on where this is coming from. Shot's not good enough, though. Trippin Bun's trying to run away. 18 HP, gets around the corner. He gets the read. The pre-fire is even better. It should get swung by Appa? No. He's late to this. Trimmerio's going to get the reset. He's got full util. He clears all of the A-bomb. 1v2 retake. This is going to be exceptionally difficult to clear all of these corners.
Still doable, though, with a Jackal. It's just, will the timing give you that opportunity to find some natural cover to play the one-on-one if you do get that opening kill? And they're going to go right to you. First shots in, slides it. And the 1v1 is impacted. Crucially, you have to back down for splurging. 18 seconds for Trippin Burrito. He's going to have the bomb cover. Splurging. He's not looking the right way. No way. He just disassembled them. First of all, Andy, you have to rechow that if you're splurging. The damage that was done onto Trippin Burrito.
18 HP. He got away with 18 HP. A cold breeze. Look, he's smiling. He knows he just got away with some hamburglery. This type of hamburglery would make Ronald McDonald very upset, let me tell you. That's crazy. 18 HP, he gets away. 1v2 clutch. Somehow, again, Offutt, they isolate themselves in the clutch. We saw this happen so often in the red card surge versus Buckley yesterday. Just cannot happen, man. Trippin Burrito is up to 5-4 now. It's a 1-round lead for Eglin. Is that a momentum shift? We'll see, because Eglin are not blitzing through mid.
Wasp again for the first blood, and this time it's not traded, so Offutt feeling good to at least tie things back up in this series, or in this map of Hossie. As all 4 players, they are just going to halt the advantage and wait for Eglin to make a play.
I mean, they're forced to make a mistake now, 2v4. Do that, or you're forced to make a clutch play happen. Appa overextends you. Be careful here, guys. Heed my warning. Stop isolating yourselves. Both Charm, Shaky are very much so dead. Trippin Burritos still alive in the clutch. Never know what could happen.
35 seconds to make something happen. Trippin Burrito, can he get back-to-back clutch rounds? Well, Floki's going to find the first one.
They scattered. Look, they all scattered. Everybody from Offutt are all just isolating themselves now. This could play right into Eglin's hand. Trippin Burrito's going to have to go for the plant. Offutt more than aware of this. Comes out of Floki in his position. If he can catch one off across Trippin Burrito's side, but he plants the bomb.
Bomb goes down, but Floki, he's just too out in the open to get anything done with that positioning. Too compromised to really follow up with that play.
Yeah.
And Trippin Burrito, I mean, if you're able to get that bomb plant and stay alive, then Floki has a lot easier of a job to not rush back to that bomb site. But Offutt do a good job at not letting 2 rounds slip between their fingers.
It's tough, right? I mean, if you're in that position, obviously hindsight is 2020. Having the blessing of the minimap is another, but mostly for that setup there, you clear all of their spawn. You're mostly trying to go for a pool house plant. That doesn't work in this game. That only happened back in BO4. Unfortunate to say, but it maybe stay inside of Office. That could have been the clutch spot. It's so tough to gauge, but Eglin gave himself a real good shake at it. Offutt almost threw it away. Tied up again.
Looks like it's going to be hit towards B. Trippin Burrito not going to be ready for how many players are turning around. Floki still opened that one up with a first blood. So they stay in a 3 versus 3. Trophy's going to help get this post plant in.
Nobody's taking a route. They're going to try to hard hit this. No, Floki's now going to be taking a route, but this is going to take so much time away from the clock column. They're all going to turn it up around the rock. Flank's now going to be picked up from Waz. Spidey sense was tingling, but it's just a flank all the way through open stairs. And he's going to get flanked.
A reflank from Waz. Shaky's going to trade on the bomb. Not an easy gunfight to take, but the time is all you need to worry about. Shaky finds a second one. 1v1 yet again. Where is Charms? Well, he's back onto the point, and the Hunt is actually not going to catch it. You get away, you play your life. All you have to do is burn that time. And Offutt, they hold on.
Flux is having himself a really good series so far, man. 33 and 28 there, a real big catalyst and a step-up reason. We were gassing up Waz off his performance yesterday, but Flux is having a really good day so far. Early doors as far as Florida is concerned, but 8-4 here in the Search and Destroy is fantastic, and just being able to live there in the 1v1, reading the clock, whether it was player comms or just player intuition, it's still a fantastic play. Another 4 spree in the Search and Destroy out of Flux. Which is just insane, because actually, I mean, he's batting 1,000 as far as kills are concerned. If he's getting kills, he's good for 4 straight.
On back-to-back rounds as well. 4 in a row for Flux. He took over in that hard point. He's looking to take over in the Search and Destroy again. This time, Charms, though, draws that first blood for Eglin. Immediately traded by Arrow. Appa brings us into a 3 versus 3. Bomb down at A.
Retake is mostly going to be through the open staircase or through the open secret area. The clutch spot is mostly set up down over by U-turn, so still a lot of space to be clearing, and Charms is playing the clutch spot up towards top off. It's a late clear. He gives away his red dot to player number 4. That's Appa.
Charms is going to be caught in the flank. Eglin are really stuck into a tough situation now, but Shaky's going to give you some reprieve. Trippin' Burrito's going to be watching it. Only 12 seconds. Not a lot of time for Offutt to unravel this one. You've just taken a little bit too long.
Yeah, just a little bit too long, right? It's tough to develop where an A retake is going to be coming through, because you're expecting it to be like the hardest of exceptional reads, but it was actually like the day one setup, right? You get a player lurking top office. He's watching the long con play. Charms just timing to watch that open area just a little bit too late. Player inside of tools, inside of tin, sorry, and then you get a player inside of U-turn. Like that's day one experience BO4 S&D when it comes down to Hacienda, and that has been a continuation through Black Ops 6 for sure. But this time Eglin were playing just that very easy days. Offutt went for the long con play, thinking it was going to be a clutch spot top secret. Was not the case. Took way too much time, and we cannot help ourselves, Colin. These teams are so evenly matched.
And that's exactly what you would expect for these round 1 matches, especially when both of these two teams exit the groups 1 and 2 in their respective group. You look at the whole map, look at the mini map. It's all flipped around, but
yeah,
these two teams are really throwing everything at the wall, seeing what sticks.
Yeah, this is quite literally platoon warfare if I've ever seen it. Look at them all just clearing everything, corners together. You got a good spread, though, through the open hallways. Waz going to be the alarm belt, watching out over by through P1. Yeah, he's going to find that first blood. He's not here alone. Splurging's also there to watch the cross that could lead towards the open area that is the P2 Lambo side.
Look at this from
But
Flux.
we reflipped the map again. Yeah, Eglin's back on their side of the map. Well, outside.
It's right around the rosy. It's just, where are they? Haven't seen a shadow just yet, and Flux is in such a good position to catch these players off guard. Gives himself away, though. Not going to find the kill. Shoots a little bit too early, and that might give it all up. 20 seconds, 3 versus 3. The nade, though, is going to catch Charms. Compromise in the position. 15 seconds. Floki now in the back and forth. The trades, and you are trapped now if you're Trippin' Burrito. No way in, no way out. And even if you do find some way through, there's no time.
Yeah, Splurging was still playing that long play, and he was expecting for the long con all the way through the open door to be able to slide back in if push came to shove. But Offutt just all off that first blood. They're able to work their way over towards the bomb site, get that plant lickety split. It's just an interesting decision ultimately for Eglin. I mean, they say to get 8,000 steps per day if you want to remain healthy. I'm pretty sure they got about half of that as far as 1 round is concerned on Hacienda, just taking the entire tour, getting their money's worth across the entirety of the mansion. But no route to be played, no coverage as well. Again, with watching the middle of the map for Waz, he just finds that first blood just so easily. Just cannot be giving away these free kills, but it allows Offutt to, again, reap the benefits. They're up to map point. Can they go 2-0 up in the series?
Stuns out. Good information. Offutt wants to put this one away here. They don't want to give Eglin a chance at around 11, and Floki has that sinking feeling that somebody is behind him right now, and fortunately to his factor, there is not.
No information for Offutt. Got Waz, Offutt working together. Sporting's going to be hitting around. He's going to be playing right into the hands. He stays in that gunfight. Shaky finds first blood. That activates Trip and Burrito to drop down inside a secret, orchestrated wonderfully. Bomb going down.
Waz is going to find a chance to drop it, and he gets away. Look at the minimap, though. Charms is on the mega flank. And it looks like you are going to be ready for it if you're Aeroapa, but do you full clear this one? Charms is just waiting for his chance. Bomb goes down. Everybody's going to be looking forward, and now it's just down to Waz in a 1 versus 2. He is trapped on both sides, and Charms makes the play.
That makes the play. Long play all the way around. You called out the long flank, Colin, but it just comes through at a moment where you're not fully expecting it. Finally showing face. First blood strikes up towards top center. Splurging only gets info on one. The rest of Offutt were all playing around to the backside of Platt, going all the way back through bottom office, and I mean, by that time, Charms had already cleared everything off of Splurging's death. Losing your B anchor is honestly an awful spot to be in, because then your flank becomes absolutely exploited. 21 kills between Charms and Shaky, putting on a show as far as this S&D is concerned, but it only is good enough for around 11, but Eglin are on defense.
Round 11, this is where everything is going to come together for the defense of Eglin. He spots so much information, and how does that happen? A team kill at the last hour. Splurging going to trade, so it's 3v3, but even still, you are shaken up after that.
Hey, they're going to take this as an immediate wrap back over towards A.
Smart.
They're expecting someone to just burst through the door top office. It would be Floki, but he's got an AR. He's not trying to play fast. Are they going to clear this? Bottom staircase might just get cleared. They could rewrap this. Waz takes down Charms. 2v3. Here comes the clear. Oh, it is just absolute cinema. It started off with just the own killing on yourself with the Semtex, but hey, that's the long play at the end of the day. Offutt with the mind games, take a 2-0 lead.
And a round 11 that ultimately starts with a team nade, but ends with you finding every single kill to win it out. A flawless one, in fact, you can say.
If there's one thing that we know is consistent throughout the entirety of our scientific experience, which is the DAF World Championship, is that notes, well, they don't really mean a damn so far. We'll have to see how the opening breakoff does end up panning out. Offutt versus Eglin. Offutt on the offense.
And in the great words of Mr. Bill Nye, the science guy, science rules. So let's see if it still works out in this one. As Offutt, they're out the gates pretty good, but Eglin's been able to fight back off those respawns. Charms goes big. They get the kills through their spawn. They're able to fight back without giving up a single segment at that A zone.
Yeah, 3-0 start out of Charms again. This is the one thing that has been consistent throughout this series as well, Colin, is that every single bit of advantage Eglin have been able to find thus far in this best of 5 series, they have been unable to enact any sort of advantage. Oh, nice Semtex from Trip and Burrito. He actually almost got a 2-piece off of that. He'll get it in the end, but I think enough for Flak Jacket there that the Semtex didn't pick up 2 off the rip. What a start out of Eglin, keeping Offutt off kilter. They are trapped in the back of the pool house with 25 seconds remain.
That a 7-life lead. I think that's really what I was looking towards for this Eglin team to put this one away. 20 seconds. It has to be A, but as I say, the troubles are brewing for Offutt. It's Shaky alone on the flank, only able to provide one singular kill. The sack over towards A is going to be in, at least for 2. Flux trying to do his best to pull his team back right now, but it's only a double stack. It's not going as fast as it could be going. Trip and Burrito up top. Is he going to be able to save the day? Shaky is here in time. Splurging 9 HP, not able to live. 17 seconds, and that third segment's getting depleted.
Yeah, it's looking so that it's just going to be a 2-segment, potentially. Aeroapa able to find 2. He's stepping foot over by the B zone. Able to get a third segment, potentially. It's only a 5-life lead. Shaky's able to take Offutt down off the B zone. Back towards the A zone we go. 2 in the feed again. Surely this is it, unless Splurging can show up huge. Just 5 seconds remain now. Colin and Eglin looking to get that hold.
Yeah, Shaky goes big. Trip and Burrito providing that re-break back over towards A to save that third segment. Still 3 seconds left. Still a chance, but Charms is here for the contest. Trying to do his best. 3 down. The stack over towards this B zone now. Splurging on the chase. He's going to go back to the kills, giving them a chance at this one. Surely not. Surely
they have a two-body stack on 2 different zones. That A zone's going to be captured. Second segment at B is already gone. Third segment at B is looking to be good as well. And Charms has to go, tries to contest, and it's just too late.
Wow.
You see what I'm saying, Colin? Like, every single distinct advantage that Eglin have had in this series, like, it was a 7-life lead off the opening rip, a 3-0 start off of Charms. They also had that being reciprocated by a handful of Eglin members. Immediately just ended up losing the round offensively.
They have no ice in those last moments. You see the panic that comes from stopping that A zone. They throw everything in, and Waz is having a great time up there. He is just loving every second of it. But for Eglin, you are rushing to get over towards A. You throw everything you have at that you leave the B zone lane open. Nobody's there to fill it. And in turn, you're just giving Offutt those chances to prolong it, to hold on as long as they can. And it just takes one moment for that Offutt team to pop off. Every single time.
Offensive rounds being taken in a ball control in the opening round, nonetheless, is so rare. But it's an advantage that Offutt are very happily taken in towards this round. An opening breakoff immediately won, but we saw how that concluded in the previous round, Colin.
You have to steal away an offense of your own now if you're Eglin. Floki not able to get to the corner in time to play his life. Up top, Shaky shot in the back, 3 down yet again. It's going to be a push over towards B for Trip and Burrito. He's actually going to supersede that. He's going to push all the way past into Art. And instead of actually providing for the team, he is kind of taking away from them. Now it is numbers in the spawn trap for Offutt without Trip and Burrito really helping at all.
Yeah, I mean, well, Trip and Burrito's kind of hoping that Eglin are going to be able to find these kills on their side of the map, so that way he can start enacting a spawn trap on the opposite side. The biggest problem is that the clock is going to be your secondary enemy. Yeah. The only player to die so far was Flux, and he's coming off the respawn block now.
Well, Floki going up top. He's going to get some rough timing here. Another flank going to be popping into the fray very, very soon, as it is going to be 2 members towards the backside. It's Splurging and Arrow Appa trying to throw some devastating shots down over towards A. Charms is the last one up on that zone, and you have Trip and Burrito over towards B. So double progress, but it's only single stacks on either side with 20.9 seconds left.
Floki going to be able to find one on the opposite side first segment. The only thing locked over by B. Here comes the desperate push out of Shaky. He's on the A zone. Not alone, though. Floki's here, too.
He's going to shoot over towards the trophy system. He's not even watching for Shaky. Fortunately enough, his team is here, and it's all up to Arrow Appa to see if he can hold on to this A zone. Good damage. Nice shots, but the double stack should be able to collect this last take.
Yeah, it's looking good for it. 60 seconds added halfway towards that second segment. Now over towards B. The transition might be a good one. They already found one kill on Arrow Appa over towards the palm tree lane. Good trade out from Splurging to stop Charms dead and distract. But you already got one player. It's Shaky on the zone. He's working up against a pinch so far. Loses the initial one versus Flux. Offutt are able to stabilize.
That's good from Flux, at least able to weed out that last remaining player from that B zone. Eglin back to square one. Floki's going to try to hit this flank play yet again all the way through the pool side. Can he get him behind? Undetected. So far, so good, but that time is going low. And the life count is even lower, so Floki has to turn this play into something and rely on the rest of the team to win their battles on the approach.
You know what Floki wants? They might be keeping track of names and numbers. He wants to kill Waz so that way they can get top art control. Arrow Appa, though, having one of those out-of-body experiences. 16 and 11 now for them, 3 in the feed. The one player they're missing, Floki, he's on the flank. And I think Wassid is starting to pick things up now. Yeah, Floki's going to get flanked on the flank. 22 seconds remain.
Waz to read him like a book. And suddenly we have to start thinking, is this really an out-of-body experience? Is this what we just need to expect from Arrow Appa? He does it again, showing up for the team in winners round 1. Offutt starting to run away with this series in the control, looking for the sweep, denying us on the desk of all expectations from this Eglin squad and exposing them on the main stage.
I mean, if I'm sitting there and I'm Cannon, this is your next round matchup, potentially. You're like, oh, snap, this is not how I thought things were going to be going. How do you even prepare for this? Because Offutt are absolutely shooting. They came prepared. It's an early day down there as far as the base is concerned, but they are absolutely teeing off. 16 and 10 for Splurging, 10 and 7 for Waz. Arrow Appa's now up to 18 and 12. in Flux up to 7-13. To say that this is the worst map that he's had of the best of 5 series is putting it lightly, and that's only because the rest of the kills are all just gone.
Yeah, everybody else is just stepping up, and what do you get? Just scraps at that point. Eglin, I mean, you've seen a couple of moments where they've had chances, but when it comes to hitting it home, they just miss the mark again and again. Waz locking down the B lane. That's going to put some at least support towards middle to have somebody to watch the flank, to focus onto this cat retake that you're looking for if you're Eglin, as the pinch is going to fall all the way down and towards Vault. Only half a segment at A so far. And Charms is going to reflank this one. Early shots, finishes the kill into Splurging. Going for the reach out, not able to regen. 3 players here from Offutt, now looking for the stack.
The fastest way to be able to get those segments to be captured. Offutt, fastest way to be able to get this 3-0 express shift in towards the winners round 2. Second segment's looking to get it locked. Eglin need to show some presence here. Appa, though, 22 kills, just beams Charms. That head is rolling across the zone.
How many times are we going to say for Appa, this is just a performance of a lifetime right now in winners round 1. 3 segments captured at A, a minute 42 to win this one outright. In a 3-0 sweep, not just in the control, but in the series as well. And the double kill is going to open up that lane yet again. Things are starting to put pressure down on Eglin. This is not looking good.
No, it's not looking good at all. Floki, good Semtex, removes Appa at least from the zone, but there's still 2 players there.
Let's stack in. Second take getting worked on. Is anybody going to get here to contest? No, the capture is going to come through, and Splurging still finding value. A double kill again. Nobody on the flank. All eyes forward. GG. And there ain't a single person from Eglin that's going to be able to contest that 3-0 sweep yet again here from the controls that we've been seeing all week long. And Offutt are going to put this one in the history books and punch their tickets for a date versus Cannon.
25-15 out of Appa is just absolutely insane, man. This guy, throughout the early stages of groups, the past 2 days, not really a benefactor. We were sitting here talking about Waz. How about 21 non-traded out of the 25 kills out of Aero Appa? Like, that's...
But we have somebody who's going to tell us how they're going to do that here for the interview. We're going to get Splurging into the booth to join us. Congratulations on a 3-0 in round 1. That looked a little bit easier than we expected here on the desk. Did it feel easier than you guys expected?
Yeah. I mean, we switched things up from yesterday. We watched VOD and we locked in, man.
Walk me through some of those differences that you were able to make then, Splurging, because, again, versus Buckley, ball control, you guys got 3-0'd, like, coming in towards this one, complete out-of-body experience, ARs included, were absolutely beaming yourself included.
Yeah, so, yeah, me and Flex, we're pretty good subs together, so we got that, playing tight and close together, getting trades. Micah, as you know, if you've seen in the past, known for being, shooting nukes and stuff, so... And then Aero Appa as well with AR. I mean, they play well together. And I don't know, yeah, just Micah and Aero together, they make everything easier for both me and Flex. I mean, I don't know how to explain it. I don't know. I feel like playing really good, so we're gonna keep it pushing.
You are feeling really good, and you are playing really good,
yeah.
I'd say, in that matchup in general. I don't know where I was going with that one, but we're looking into your next matchup, and it's going to be Cannon, and things get very, very difficult for that matchup. Is there anything that you guys really looked into preparing for that match? Is there anything that you guys are looking forward to in that match?
No, just keep playing the way that we're playing. I mean, obviously, we got to play for trades, which we've been working on since yesterday. I mean, that's pretty much it. I don't know. We're just going to go into a confident, pray for the best.
Well, yeah. Well, I mean, we're hoping for the best from you guys, and so far we're seeing the best from you in this matchup. Before we say goodbye, though, is there anybody at your base, anybody at home that you want to say hi to?
Yeah, I want to shout out my main day one chainer, Mina, if you're watching, and then back at home, shout out to the Gooners. You know who you are.
I can't believe that. Oh,
That's crazy.
Love it, Splurging. Thanks for coming on. Shout out to the day ones. Yeah, you know what? You had to. But enjoy the win. We'll see you later.
Thank you. All right. See you guys.